Imagine a wedding day that started with a deep hurt and ended with a magical surprise. Today, I'm going to tell you a story that will grab your heart from the very first word. This is the story of a wedding where the groom made a very mean joke about the bride's past, and then, out of nowhere, a mysterious limousine pulled up. What happened next will shock you, warm your heart, and remind you that even in the saddest moments, a little bit of magic can turn everything around. So stay with me, because you don't want to miss a single word of this unbelievable tale. Let me take you to a bright, sunny day in a small town where everyone was excited about one very special wedding. The air was warm and filled with the smell of fresh flowers. Colorful ribbons and ornaments hung from every tree, and cheerful music played softly as families and friends gathered. The wedding venue was a beautiful garden with a big white tent, decorated with twinkling lights and bright bouquets of flowers. Today was supposed to be the happiest day of Emma's life, the kind of day where love fills every heart. But sometimes, even on the brightest days, unexpected things can happen. Emma, our lovely bride, had not had an easy start in life. She lost her parents when she was very small, and she grew up in a home full of caring people who taught her how to be brave and kind. Although her past was filled with sadness and hard times, Emma learned that every hardship made her stronger and gave her a heart full of love. And on this day, she was ready to begin a new chapter. At the same time, there was Jake, the groom. Jake was excited about the wedding, yet somewhere inside he held a few bad ideas about Emma's past. You see, Jake was a confident guy, but sometimes his confidence slipped into being unfair and hurtful. Even though Emma's story was one of strength and kindness, Jake made a very mean comment that shocked everyone. It was a moment that no one expected, and it changed the tone of the day in an instant. Just a few moments before the wedding ceremony was to begin, the guests gathered around in small clusters, whispering happily about the beautiful day ahead. But then something very strange and very sad happened. Jake, the groom, stood in front of everyone with a smile that didn't match his words. In front of all the family and friends, he made a joke about Emma's difficult past. He said things like, "I hope your lonely days are really over now," and hinted that her being raised without her parents would be something that might follow her forever. Now let me be very clear. These words hurt. Emma's eyes filled with tears as she quietly stood there, and even the people sitting in the front rows began to feel the weight of his words. It was like a sudden cold wind on a warm day, unexpected, unwanted, and very painful. Even though some people tried to laugh it off, deep down everyone could tell that this was not a kind thing to do. When you say something mean about someone's past, it can feel like you are wiping away the very colors of their life. The mood at the wedding changed in an instant. The happy chatter paused, and a heavy silence fell over the room. People felt sad for Emma and started talking quietly among themselves. Even though it was just a few minutes before the ceremony, everyone knew that something very important was about to happen, something that would change the course of the day. In that moment, the lovely garden felt a little less bright. The beautiful music lost a bit of its charm, and even the flowers seemed to droop as if they too were saddened. Some of the guests started to wonder if the wedding would ever become a happy celebration again. It is sometimes hard for us to see the good when harsh words cross our ears. The hurt can feel like a heavy cloud that covers the sun. I want you to know something very important. Sometimes people say things without thinking, and those words can really hurt someone's heart. It reminds all of us that we should be kind with our words. When you see someone getting hurt by mean words, It is important to speak up or find a way to bring back a little bit of hope. And believe me, this story shows us exactly that. A moment when everything turned dark, and then something amazing happened to bring back the light. Out of nowhere, when the sadness seemed too heavy to bear, a loud sound caught everyone's attention. Imagine the sound of a big engine humming quietly in the background, one you might hear in a movie when something important is about to occur. All eyes turned toward the entrance of the garden as a long, sleek car slowly made its way up on the driveway. It wasn't just any car, it was a limousine, shining under the sunlight like a treasure from another world. A limousine is a very special car, usually long and very fancy. It is often used by famous people or for very important events like weddings. Modern limousines have bright lights, very soft seats, and powerful engines that can take you to wonderful places. Today, however, this mysterious limo was more than just a ride. It soon became a symbol of hope and change. The car glided to a stop right outside the tent, and for a few precious seconds, everything was completely quiet. You could almost hear everyone's heart beating as they waited to see what would happen next. The door of the limousine slowly opened, and out stepped a gentleman who everyone instantly recognized. This was Mr. Thompson, a kind, gentle man who had always looked after Emma like a guardian. Mr. Thompson had known Emma since she was very little, and he cared for her more than anyone else. Mr. Thompson walked confidently but with a soft smile. As he moved toward where Emma stood, the heavy silence began to lift. His presence filled the space with warmth and reassurance. In a strong but gentle voice, he said, "Emma, my dear, you are more than your past. Every experience, no matter how hard, has made you the beautiful person you are today. Your life is full of strength and kindness, and nothing can change that." His words were like a soothing breeze on a hot day. The crowd listened, and slowly they began to feel the weight of sadness being lifted. Mr. Thompson continued, telling everyone a little bit about Emma's life, the many times she had shown true kindness by sharing her lunch with those in need, the way she always stood up for what was right, and how she never let her difficulties hold her back. Every word made it clear. Emma's past was filled with challenges, but it was also filled with lessons of love, courage, and hope. As Mr. Thompson spoke, even Jake began to see the error of his ways. He realized that his thoughtless words were not only unkind, but untrue about the strength of the woman he was about to marry. In that moment, the mysterious arrival of the limo wasn't just a fancy car. It was a sign that the magic of forgiveness and truth could change even the saddest of days. Now, I want you all to imagine this. Have you ever had a day when nothing seemed to go right, and then suddenly something unexpected made you smile? Maybe it was a friend who shared their snack, or a teacher who gave you extra time to finish your work. That little moment of kindness, when it happens, makes all the difference. In our story, the limousine and Mr. Thompson were that very moment of kindness and hope. Let me share a little more about why words matter so much. Every word we speak has a power, like magic, if you will. When we use our words to be kind and gentle, we help build others up. But when we use words to hurt, they can leave deep wounds that make people feel small and forgotten. Even as a kid, you know that when someone says mean things, it can make you feel very sad, right? Science tells us that when we use kind words, our brains release happy chemicals called endorphins, which help us feel good. It is like when you get a hug from someone you love. On the other hand, mean words can make us feel this heavy, gloomy feeling, almost like a rain cloud is following us around. That day when Jake made his hurtful joke, it was as if a cold gust of wind had blown away the warm sunshine. But then, something amazing happened. The mysterious limo arrived, and with it came a reminder of just how powerful the truth, kindness, and love can be. As Mr. Thompson finished his heartfelt speech, the entire mood began to change. The angry, sad feelings that had filled the garden slowly gave way to whispers of hope and understanding. One by one, guests started clapping in gentle applause. The sound was soft at first, like a ripple in calm water, and then it grew louder as more people joined in. Jake the groom now realized that his words had been thoughtless and had hurt the person he truly cared about. Standing in front of his beloved, with tears in his eyes, he took a deep breath and said, "Emma, I am so very sorry. I did not understand your pain. I was wrong. Please forgive me." His voice was soft but full of regret, and even though the hurt would take some time to heal, his apology was the first step toward making things right. Imagine if you accidentally broke your best friend's favorite toy and then said, "I'm sorry, I will fix it." That feeling, when you fix something that was wrong, can help both of you feel better. That is exactly what happened on this wedding day. The hurt began to be healed by honest apologies, and the truth that Emma's past was not something to mock, but something that made her who she is. Soon after Jake's apology, Emma whispered back with a gentle smile, "I forgive you, Jake. I know that today we are here to start a new life together." With those words, the heavy cloud lifted completely from the room. The whole garden exploded with cheers and claps, and the music started up again. This time, a tune of hope and new beginnings. Now you might be wondering, what makes a limousine so special in this story? Well, let me share a few fun facts. A limousine, or limo for short, is a very long, fancy car. Its design started many years ago for kings, presidents, and movie stars who needed a ride that looked amazing. Modern limos are not just cool because of their size. They have wonderful features too. They come with soft, comfy seats, excellent sound systems, and sometimes even tiny TVs. They even have lights that can change colors and create a fantastic atmosphere. In many weddings, a limo is a sign of luxury and celebration. But in our story, this limo was even more. It was a moving sign of redemption and magic. Think of it this way. If you have ever seen a superhero movie, you know that sometimes the hero arrives in a cool car or with an unexpected helper. Here, the limousine was like a secret messenger sent at just the right moment to remind everyone that every story has different sides. And that day, it brought forward the truth of Emma's life and the power of kind words. As the wedding continued, the conversation among the guests turned to stories of how hard times can lead to wonderful changes. People began to share little memories of when they themselves had been hurt by unkind words, and how a kind gesture or a surprising moment helped them feel loved again. One elderly man even said, "I once was very sad until a friend helped me see that every mistake can be a chance to learn. That's how we grow." His words made everyone nod in agreement. This wedding day became much more than a simple celebration of marriage. It turned into a lesson for all of us. A lesson that tells us that even if someone says something unkind, there is always room to forgive and to see the goodness in others. Emma's life, though filled with challenges from the beginning, was also filled with moments of love, kindness, and courage. And thanks to that mysterious limo and Mr. Thompson's caring words, everyone remembered that what really matters is the strength inside our hearts. Let's take a moment to think about our own lives. When you are at school or playing with your friends, have you ever seen someone get teased or feel left out? Then maybe a friend comes and gives them a hug, or shares a toy, or simply smiles at them. That small act of kindness can change a bad day into a good one. In our story, a fancy car and wise words reminded everyone that the best way to handle hurt is with love and understanding. And that lesson is something we can all use every day. As the sun slowly began to set, painting the sky with shades of orange, pink, and purple, the wedding turned into a celebration of hope and new beginnings. The earlier hurt was now replaced by warm smiles, joyful laughter, and the promise of forgiveness. All the guests danced under the stars as if the garden were a magical world where every heart found peace. Jake and Emma walked hand in hand down the aisle, and it was clear that this moment was more than just the start of their marriage. It was the start of a wonderful journey together. They had learned that even when we make mistakes, we have the power to change and to become better. And as they exchanged their vows, everyone in the garden felt the truth in their words, that love, respect, and kindness are the true magic in life. Looking back, one can see how a single moment, a hurtful joke, and one unexpected arrival, a mysterious limousine, set off a chain of events that turned a sad moment to a chance for healing. It reminds me that every day is a gift. Sometimes we face storms, but if we open our hearts to forgiveness and pay attention to the little surprises in life, we find our rainbow after the rain. Before we finish, I want to share what I think about all of this. I believe that deep inside every heart, there is a place of goodness. Yes, even when someone says something mean, like Jake did, every person has a chance to learn from their mistake. I once heard a story about a boy who accidentally broke his friend's toy and then, with a big smile and lots of effort, fixed it. That day, his friend forgave him, and they laughed about it later on. It may sound simple, but this is exactly what happened at this wedding. It was like fixing a broken toy with love. And here's a funny thought. Have you ever seen someone trip on the playground, then get up and dance like nothing happened? Sometimes life gives us these silly moments where we fall, but if we can laugh at ourselves and learn, we become happier. Jake's mistake was like tripping on a banana peel, and Mr. Thompson, along with that gleaming limo, helped him see that he could stand up again, smile, and make things right. Every person has a story full of ups and downs. We all have moments that make us feel sad, but it's the unexpected surprises, like a mysterious limo on a wedding day, that help us remember that there is always hope. I hope this story makes you smile and teaches you that no matter how hard things seem, a little bit of kindness can always bring back the sunlight. Now that we've reached the end of this amazing wedding story, let's take a moment to remember its lessons. Be kind with your words, always listen to the hearts of others, and know that even in the darkest moments, something wonderful can happen. If one mean word or a moment of hurt can be overcome by an act of kindness and an unexpected miracle, imagine how great our days can be when we choose love over anger. Thank you so much for spending these 20 minutes with me, listening to this story of surprise, forgiveness, and a magical limousine that changed a wedding forever. If you enjoyed this story and learned something new today, please hit that subscribe button. I would love to hear your thoughts, so leave a comment down below if you have ever experienced a surprising twist that helped you feel better. And if you want to see more stories that mix mystery, hope, and a little bit of magic, like the story of a royal tea party that changed the day for a small town, Click on the video that appears on the end screen right now. You won't want to miss it. Remember, every day is a fresh start. When you face challenges, think of Emma and Jake's wedding day. Know that forgiveness and kindness are always the magic keys that unlock better days. Stay curious, stay kind, and always look for those little moments of wonder in your life. Once again, thank you for watching. If you like this story, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe to join our family of storytellers, and share this video with someone who might need a little reminder that even a mean moment can lead to an even greater ending. I'll see you in the next video. Bye for now.